The case of election of the LoP is not in any way a bad one. It is actually promoting democracy and accountability to all of us and the whole country, and also the LoP to have mandate of the members of the opposition. I have had people evidence whether the LoP has ever been elected, except one LoP who was elected. That was Ogenga Latigo. The rest, I'm not very sure whether the law was complied with. It is actually that law that I want to strengthen and bring it to a situation where the election can be done by all members of the opposition. The Parliamentary Administration Amendment Act of 2006. It requires that election be done, but it is not done if you look at the law the way it is. We only know what happened during Ogenga Latigo contesting with the late Member of Parliament for Chadondo, by then, Mzee Njuga. That is the only one I know. The rest, I'm not aware. Why? Because it is done when other members are not involved. So my proposition is, let us involve other members of the opposition in the election. So, Mr. Chairman, that is a brief summary I can give. So I want to go straight to the bill by starting with the object of the bill. I don't know whether there are copies. Okay.
We don't have.
The object of the bill is, you've read.
I forgot, Mr. Chairman, it takes us to the clauses because that's the most crucial.
Why don't you allow me to go through Cap 272 to provide for the election of the leader of the opposition by members of the opposition in Parliament from among members of the party in opposition to government having the greatest numerical strength in the Parliament, to provide additional grounds upon which the leader of opposition may cease to hold the office, to require the shadow cabinet to be approved by members of the opposition parties in Parliament, to require the leader of opposition to consult all opposition political parties represented in Parliament when appointing chairpersons, deputy chairpersons of standing committees of Parliament. Clause 1, Section 1 of the Administration of Parliament Act defines the leader of opposition of the party in opposition to government with the greatest numerical strength in the Parliament. Clause 1 of the bill seeks to correctly define a leader of the opposition as that member of Parliament who is the leader in Parliament of members of the opposition parties in Parliament. The amendment seeks to ensure that the leader of opposition represents the views and aspirations of all opposition political parties in the Parliament. This will enhance accountability of the leader of opposition to all political parties in the Parliament. Clause 2 of the bill seeks to amend Section 8 of the Principal Act to require the leader of the opposition to be elected by members of all opposition parties in the Parliament. The party in opposition to government having the greatest numerical strength in the Parliament to nominate from among its members in the Parliament at least 3 members from whom the leader of opposition shall be elected, and to empower Parliament to prescribe the procedure for election of leader of opposition under the rules of procedure of Parliament. This proposal will grant all members of the opposition in Parliament opportunity to participate in the determination of the leader of opposition in order to achieve effective representation. B, encourages transparency and entrenches democracy by requiring an actual election to be carried out to fill the position of the leader of the opposition. Clause 3 of the bill. The bill seeks to amend Section 9 of the Principal Act to provide additional grounds upon which the leader of opposition may cease to hold office. The additional grounds are: A, he or she ceases to be a member of the political party in opposition to the government having the greatest numerical strength in Parliament. B, he or she is removed from office of the to minimize the involvement of the leader of opposition party leadership in the appointment of the shadow cabinet by removing the requirement of consulting the leadership of the leader of opposition party. This is because the leader of opposition should be superintended over all opposition political parties in parliament. B, require the shadow cabinet to be approved by a resolution of members of the opposition parties. This will enhance accountability at the shadow cabinet. Require the leader of opposition to, in consultation with opposition political parties represented in parliament, appoint chairpersons and deputy chairpersons of standing committees which are required to be chaired and deputized by members from the opposition. This will ensure that the views of other political parties are considered while appointing chairpersons and deputy chairpersons of opposition committees. Additional amendments to the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill. Honorable members, in accordance with Rule 129 of the Rules of Procedure, I beg you, your indulgence, and hereby submit additional proposals to the bill to provide for 2 backbench commissioners elected from amongst members of the opposition parties in Parliament, and clarity that the 2 shall not belong to the same party. Let me read and then you comment. When you read the, I said additional amendment. The leader of opposition has been agreed upon by the party. Then a motion is moved there and we all elect. I think that is enough for that, for growing democracy. The other one is...
Chair, can I correct the meeting?
Choosing.
Thank you, sir. May I correct the member that what the law provides for commencement of office by the leader of the opposition is a mere statement by the presiding officer in the House. There's no question put.
There's no question?
No.
Okay, sorry. No. So we can amend and say question is put. So the other one, Mr. Chairman, is the framers of the Constitution intended for a particular kind of democracy. Why they drafted the Constitution the way it is, there was an intention, there was that spirit in them to create the democracy that was working for the country as it is today. And I don't want to touch that democracy because it is already provided for in the Constitution. The way it is, I'm satisfied. That is why I didn't even touch it when I was moving my amendments. The other one, Mr. Chairman, in the next Parliament, in the 12th Parliament. That's what I would prefer, because I have no problem when it starts in the next Parliament. All what I want is that as if we have put the law in order, everything is proper, it can start in the next Parliament. I have no problem with it.
Chair, you see now, is that an amendment? Because the issue, that is a clause now.
Yeah, we can. And I want a very strong opposition, even if we are in power. I'm trying to make you people in the NRM, when you are in opposition, when you are strong there, when you can check us properly. So that is what I'm providing for. Yeah. The other one who presided over, I will give, if I do further research, and I give you that. But I know in Ghana, that's how they do. So I will present to the clerk when I'm done with it. The one which I actually think would be the proper one would be when the first run-up is the leader of opposition. But it requires to amend the Constitution because of, I think, Article 78, if it is offered, I think the composition of Parliament and how ex-officials come into Parliament. That would be the best proposition. And the research I have of head is that when Paul Semogerere, the late, was the leader of opposition from 1980 to 1985, there was no tension at all, because he was the president of the party, at the same time the leader of opposition. So that harmonious kind of situation is what I want to see in Parliament.
Chair,
so that
can I correct the meeting for the record to be proper? Constituency they
Yes.
came with Parliament. So we had a hybrid presidential system and then proportional representation. So amending the constitution to give us that would require also amending particular provisions of the mode of electing members of Parliament.
To us that this bill, it has been brought in good faith, and your intention is that it should take off in the 12th Parliament.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know whether Honorable Duru did not clearly hear me, but I said it. But I want to make a small clarification. In Africa, whenever there is something good, they first of all resist it, and even wear it, dress it with all kinds of things. I can tell you in Buganda, the coffee is called chivoko. The reason why it is called chivoko, people resisted to grow it and were simply whipped to grow it. Right now they are benefiting. They thought that the one who was bringing coffee had bad intentions. Even electricity, everything. So I want to tell my brother that my heart has always been a very clean heart, and it will always continue to be.
But Chair, through
so
you, maybe
there is no problem.
Chair, through you, sorry to interject. You know, when you are dealing with Jonathan and Luganda, his Luganda is not very good. Like it's already on record. Like
I tried to interpret for him, but I can give him another important one. Was a toilet. Why the toilet is called Mugwanya? Mugwanya was the Prime Minister of Buganda. He introduced digging the toilets. People resisted. Because it was too harsh on them, they named the toilet Mugwanya. So don't have in you anything to think that there is bad spirit or bad. I am trying to make things good, to cure actually what has been in Uganda for the last 60 years. Today we must.
Thank you. I'm sure that question you have faced it before. I just wanted the committee to have on record that you have good faith.
We are a younger democracy, especially in terms of cementing multi-party democracy. We barely restored it in 2006, and all legislations that restored multi-party democracy were made in a suspicion and potentially not in good faith. I saw many colleagues come into Parliament for the first time. They were even scared to shake the hand of the leader of the opposition in Parliament, lest their neighbors see them and report to them the powers that be. I even know senior politicians in this country that believe that the opposition is a bother, and therefore anything that can be done to curtail the opposition should be done. So while considering these legislations that touch the spirit of the opposition, not that I believe we shall be permanently in the opposition, but I'm inviting honorable members here to understand that the bulk of the spirit obtaining in the original legislations was lukewarm. Even when you look at the Administration of Parliament Act, the way the language was couched, it never was done to facilitate the growth of multi-party democracy. And therefore, probably this bill, properly considered without emotions, could give multi-party democracy a new beginning. All I want to ask of the mover is to be very clear on every other aspect he wants to achieve, especially in detailing and making us understand what exactly you want to cure in this entire bill, Honorable Chair. I thought I should bring that obiter into perspective that we can have received. Thank you.
Well received.
Ine yetandika ekisanja ekijja sikirinaako mutawaana naye ekyo kiri subject ku biki bye tugenda okwogera wano kubanga ndowooza mulabye ekibeera mu komiti si kusiika binyeebwa na kubirya buli muntu akusaba tulanga bw'asobodde naye olina okuddamu kaakati waliwo ekimu kyendabye ekigenda okunsanyusa ennyo byebyo byennyongeddemu era nabadde nfunye obuzibu nga ndaba bakirwanyisa nga tebaagala mbyongeremu kubanga mulimu mwesooka tebyalimu naye kati mbyongeddemu era babirisiivinze ekyo ekimu ku bisinza okunsanyusa nti bwe tunaabiyisa ojja kulaba nga ate tutereezezza nnyo n'okusingako bwe tubadde n'olwekyo ndi musanyufu nti komiti empadde obudde nimbabuulira byendowooza nti byenjagala nyongeddemu njagalamu komishona omulala owa parliament naye bakomishona ababiri kubanga waliwo unfairness abantu bonna abalala abatuula ku komishoni ba NRM fe tuyinayo omu yekka okugjako ng'ogaseeko leader of opposition kati ne we babeera babiri era argument gye bakola ey'ababiri nga balinga 9 kiba kizibu kati kwe kwagala twongereko omu nga naye omu oyo tebava mu kibiina kifaanagana bonna bava mu bibiina bya njawulo naye nga by'opposition ekyo ndowooza nti wenkiyisaamu nakyo tekiba kibi ekyokubiri njagala time allocation nga bwe tugenda wali mu plenary okwogera basooka kuyita bibiina kubanga tuli mu multi-party dispensation basooka ne bayita kino ne bayita kiri ne bayita kino ku nsonga yonna oba bawadde eddakiika 10 oba 5 ne mwogera bwe mumala ne balyoka bayita buli muntu ndowooza nti ekyo kirungi eri ffe ffenna ekyokusatu kyenjagala okwongeramu sente zino ezigenda mu office ya leader of opposition esente ezo zikola ku ffe ffenna ab'ebibiina ebyenjawulo kati nga kyenjagala sente ezo zibeere ewa komishona atwala oludda oluvuganya naye nga wiipu w'ekibiina asobola okuzaasesinga not assessing but accessing nga asobola okuzaaccessinga nga talina gwabuuzizzaako ye omulimu gwe kola bajeti ye n'agiwa komishona sente we ziba weziri n'azimuwa ne bagenda bakola ebiyamba ekibiina kyabwe kati si bwe kiri kati bwe kiri olina okugenda ewa leader of opposition yenna abeerawo ye n'akusalirawo kumpi kikyalina okukola kati ekyo nakyo njagala okukijjawo tusobole okukulaakulanya n'ebibiina bino ebirala byebimu ku byenjagadde okwongeraku ekyokuna tekiri offhead kati naye ndowooza bibadde bina naye ebyo byebisatu byenninawo offhead ekiri subject to a debate era nze bwentyo bweŋŋambye naye debate egenda kubeerawo kati debate muyinza okuba ne debate bwe mubeera ne debate buli muntu aleeta n'agamba nti nedda ffe twandirowoozizza litandike enkya omulala n'agamba litandike mwezi gujja wabeerawo debates ez'enjawulo so kati debates ezo ziyinza okuvaamu nga zijjewo proposition yange azigamba nti bwe tulimalira bwe tulikolera naye nze proposition yange ndowooza mbadde njogera gino okusooka njagala mulabye nga Oseku Honorable Oseku ambuuzizza ekibuuzo ekikulu ennyo nze njagala nga okulonda kwa president kubaddewo abeera owookubiri kasita afuna 50% ey'obululu bw'oli akulembedde oyo ajje buzzi mu parliament abeere nga yakulembedde oludda oluvuganya eyo ye first option gye nnina kati ekyokubiri bw'aba tasobodde kufuna bisaanyizo ebyo tukozesa kulonda ekibiina ekirina ababaka abangi wano kakati ekyo nakyo bwe kiba tekisobose kati ndeesemu actually ekyokuna kye mbadde mumbuuza kizze ndeeseewo embeera nti singa ebibiina bibiri bireeta ababaka nga omuwendo gwenkana tukola tutya kati nze ntaddewo nti buli kibiina kironda basatu ne kibatuwa ne tujjako omu ekyo kyendeese singa tetuba tetugenze mu buyinza mu 2026 kuba tuba ebyo tebitukwatako naye abalibeerawo nze ekyo kyemba mbalowoolezza ekirala nti engoba ya leader of opposition mulabye nga Honorable Fox Odo yaga nti fenna tulonde naye constitution bwe bagikola baafaayo nnyo okulaga nti oludda oluvuganya lweronderenga era nze ekyo kyenkyawagira naye sipiika agenda actually nakola declaration kati kyenjagala tukyuseemu awo nti tuteekengawo motion nga bwolaba eya prime minister kubanga ono kumpi yenkanankana ne prime minister kati tuteekengawo motion parliament egiyise bwegiyisa nga kiwedde kozesa models nyingi tuyinza okugamba nti bwe tunaakuŋŋaananga tulyoke twerondemu oyo anaakubiriza okulonda tuyinza okugamba tituyite omulamuzi atukubiririza okulonda tuyinza okugamba tituyite one of the clerks mu parliament atukubiririza okulonda so kiri gye tuli era mu writings ezimu zengenda okukola n'ekyo nakyo nja kukyongeramu mu bill intention oba ogifunye kati intention first of all njagala democracy yennyini mwagala intention eyokubiri njagala njagala commission omulala intention eyokusatu njagala batuwe time kati that is the intention ekyo kibaddewo tubadde balwadde kakati ekyetabaddeewo ng'olabebwa ku muntu olijjanjaba kati ndijjawo the problem eya lead of opposition abamu kumwe abasinga wano muli bawala bato eyo problem ye yasaanyawo Democratic Party okuva ku Baziliyo batalingaya ne batandika okusala eddiiro nga banyiize okiraba kakati problemu eyo tetusobola kubeera nga tetugijjaawo all the time tulina okugijjawo oba twagala oba tetwagala ensi eteriire kati ngenda kujjawo ekizibu ekibaddewo for 60 years ngenda kijjawo ate kigenda kuvaawo
kaniriza ayalese etteeka okuteeka mu nnongesereza mu mateeka agafuga Parliament Administration of Parliament Act era owekitiibwa Lumu tubadde naye olwaleero n'atuyitiramu nga komiti amateeka gayagala okukyusakyusaamu mu bufunze owekitiibwa Lumu agamba nti constitution egamba wajja kubeerawo akulira oluyi oluvuganya mu Parliament ate constitution neewa Parliament obuyinza okusalawo tunaamulondanga tutya kati owekitiibwa Lumu agamba nti ayagala ennongeesera mu mateeka ejje nga egamba nti ababaka ab'oludda oluvuganya gavumenti bonna balonde omubaka anabeera leader of opposition nti naye abo abasatu naye nti oyo ava mu kibiina ekirina okubeera n'ababaka abasinga obungi mu Parliament the party with the greatest numerical strength in Parliament balonde abantu basatu abo abasatu bagende babalondeko nga ababaka bonna abali mu opposition be balonda kyekisinga obukulu mu tteeka owekitiibwa Lumu lyaleese olwaleero mu kakiiko k'amateeka pozi n'ekirala nti ne opposition chief whip naye bamulonde bamukubeko akalulu ng'agamba kino kijja kunyweza demokrasiya yaffe okuba nti ababaka abali mu opposition bonna balonda omuntu waabwe agenda okubeera spokesperson atwala opposition yonna mu Parliament tikinyweza demokrasiya kijja kwongeramu accountability n'obwesigwa ababaka bano aba opposition kubanga beesiga omukulembeze waabwe gwe balonze bo bennyini kyaliko era kyategeezeza olwaleero